Mm.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Friday class. I am so excited to have you here today. We are going to have a little bit of a smaller class because we're on the second Friday of December, right? And I know we are all busy with promotions and different things going on. Hi, Marva. Good to see you with the camera on today. Love the hat. So today's a real special day. Our topic is all about acupuncture, chiropractic care, and essential oils. And we have a very special guest speaker. And so I hope that you are a little familiar with chiropractic care, maybe even acupuncture work, because we are going to learn how important those types of alternative healthcare can be to add to our personal self-care regimen, right? And so this is my good friend, Dr. Hanna, who is from California. And let me go ahead and pin you. And then you can just utilize the rest of our time to share all your good knowledge with us. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, Mapawana. So good to see you guys. I'm excited to chat with you about, a lot of my passions, and this is like my life work here. Can I share just a little bit of my story, and then
Yes,
I'll go
absolutely.
in and tell you a little bit about what I do with the oils and chiropractic as well as acupuncture. How does that sound?
That sounds really good. And I want everybody to remember the reactions button on the bottom of the screen to show her some love, clap your hands, a heart, right? And then also drop comments in the chat because I love when people are also having a conversation on that side too. So we would love to hear your story.
Awesome. And feel free to put questions also in the chat. I'll get to your questions at the end if there's time. I'll have you probably start with our first patient. I have a model so I can demonstrate some of my treatments. This is Dr. Cynthia. She's going to pop in and I'm going to show you exactly what I do with some of my clients. So I'm excited. So thanks again, Mapawana. Happy to be here. A little bit about my story is I became a chiropractor, or I wanted to become a chiropractor. I felt like it was divinely guided. I felt like it was just meant to be that I fell into this profession. Like before, I was going to be a medical doctor or a teacher, something between the two. And then, like, God just like, why don't you just be chiropractor? So I read a book about it. It's called Chiropractic First. It's a great, super fast read. Read it if you want. It's all about the philosophy behind chiropractic care. If you don't know what chiropractic is, basically it's a science to align the spine to help create form and function of the human body. And our spine basically, and our skull, it holds our central nervous system. And so if there's any misalignments within that spine, even at the top of the head, most important, it can cause not just pain and restrictions of motion, but it can actually cause a decrease in function. One of the biggest stories, and this is like the birth of chiropractic, was actually for somebody, very, very famous story in chiropractic. Harvey Lillard was the first chiropractic patient, and he was a janitor, and he was deaf. After he received his first chiropractic adjustment, he was able to actually hear again. And so that story actually really inspired me to check this profession out and to take a note of it. And I actually just fell in love with the philosophy and the science behind chiropractic so much that within 2 weeks of reading this book and the story about Harvey Lillard, I started chiropractic school. I moved my whole life back into my parents' house. And there was one spot left in this chiropractic school. You went there. And I started 2 weeks after reading this story. I mean, I felt like seriously it was divinely guided. So practicing chiropractor, love what I do. I come upon this acupuncturist. Hey, work with me. You're nice. Come over to my office. And her name was Young Ja. And Young Ja, everything that came out of her mouth was just like pure poetry to me. She was my first acupuncturist that worked for me. And so I'm like, oh, that sounds lovely. I want to do that too. I want to sound like poetry. And so I researched acupuncture and what it does to the human body. And so if you don't know what acupuncture does, I'm going to give you the easiest way I can describe acupuncture, because you can be very esoteric, very like philosophical about this this art. But it's basically how to create and optimize circulation in the body. And our healing property is located in the blood. We call it chi. Other philosophies call it prana. In Western medicine, you can even actually call it oxygen. And so that's what, as an acupuncturist and doctor of Chinese medicine, what we're doing is we are optimizing your flow, your energy flow, and optimizing your circulation, because our healing property is, again, located in that blood. Easy, right? I mean, we can go super, super in depth and tell you about meridians and acupuncture points. That's going to be a whole nother class in and of itself. So we're gonna end with that. So guess what? What did you think I felt when I learned about essential oils? Oh, God, I have to do this. Like, I felt also divinely guided to learn this and to adopt this in my practice and in my home. I just felt like this was on track with what I needed to know, what I needed to learn, what I needed to do, not only again for myself and for my family, but also for my patrons of Hanna Wellness Center, my office. So I gobbled up a modern essentials book. That was the book that we had 8 years ago. And I just read it cover to cover. All the science was just like, it was like my love language reading it. All the science backing up using essential oils and why, how, all the organic chemistry I had to learn in school for my pre-med classes and my chiropractic and acupuncture classes. It all came in. I'm like, this is meant to be. This is all, it all fits so well, so connected together. So I get to use essential oils, chiropractic, acupuncture all day long, and I'm so happy. It's just like the funnest thing ever. It's so happy to see people feel better like that. So I hope I'm gonna get to all your questions. I love that you guys are answering, you're putting in some good questions in here, but I have more to say before I get to those questions. So I wanted to share with you, now that you know a little bit about like my whole journey into the healthcare industry, at least alternative medical industry, I want to share with you a little bit about what I do in my office on the chiropractic side, as well as the acupuncture side. And these are things that you can actually do and use for your own self and for your loved ones in your life. How does that sound? Cool. All right, I'm going to just drink a sip of water and we'll get started.
I am so excited. I love this.
I just downed like a couple of pieces of lunch right before I hopped on, so please bear with me. I just need to clear my throat. All right.
Hydration is very important, right?
Yes. Should we start with acupuncture first or chiropractic first? What do you prefer?
Let's do chiropractor.
Excellent. So model, are you ready to be taken care of? Okay, I'm going to have Cynthia sit in this chair. Say hello to everybody, Cynthia.
Hello, everybody.
So Cynthia is one of my new associates, and she just graduated. When did you graduate? August of this year as a doctor of acupuncture, and she's been working with me in the office. So she needs some care. So I'm going to give her some care of what I use for the oils. How does that sound? All right, so I got to share. This is probably the most heavily used product in my office on both the chiropractic side and the acupuncture side. And by the way, a lot of people ask me, what do you do more of, Dr. Hanna? Do you do more chiropractic or do you do more acupuncture? How do you think I answer that?
We do what the patient needs.
And a lot of times they need it all. So I love to be able to provide it all. Chiropractic, acupuncture, essential oils all together. And it is just magic. So going back to the most heavily used product is this big guy right here. I have one of these in my office, each office. And so for chiropractic, I love using some deep blue rub on any sore muscles before I adjust. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit in my hand of this deep blue rub, and I'm going to just massage Cynthia's muscles in her neck. Girl, you need an adjustment.
So if you guys, if you have deep blue and you love deep blue, drop me a number 1 in the chat, please.
Put a 1 for me.
Put a 1 for me.
Yay.
So she's got a lot of knots in her upper trapezius, which is these muscles that we usually have like this when we should really bring them down like that. Yes, better posture. You're on in front of 20 of our closest friends here. And then I would adjust. So other things that I would do on the chiropractic side is for muscle tightness, tenderness, especially if you have a tendon issue, I could also layer some lemongrass in there. If they have sore, tired, fatigued muscles, if they have an injury per se, I might add a little Siberian fir to that. Maybe some cypress or wintergreen. All of these oils are amazing for pain relief, improving circulation. I also love copaiba. Copaiba is such a great modulator and harmonizer on the chiropractic and acupuncture side, but I love copaiba. It just really calms that nervous system down. What's your favorite oil that you like to use for sore, tired muscles?
For sore, tired muscles, well, I love deep blue, obviously.
Yeah,
that's my go-to. Second one would probably be
I like Aroma Touch too.
Yeah, something like
Aroma
that.
Touch is great.
Yeah.
So then, again, because I mix both of them together, I want to show you what I do with bergamot. So bergamot, again, sometimes I'll do it before I adjust people because it really helps to calm them down. But also on the acupuncture side too. The combination of bergamot on an acupuncture point called Shen Men. Show your Shen Men to everybody, Cynthia. It's in the triangle fossa right here in the ear. Get a little closer to the screen. Right here in this triangle of the ear. So go ahead and find that, everybody. And if you have a bergamot, grab your bergamot. Just don't fall asleep on me, okay? I have more to tell you. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna just do 1 drop on your finger and then share it with your other finger. And then find Shen Men in that triangle fossa. And it's like I'm plugging her ears, but it's really up top in the triangle fossa. And I'm really just putting light pressure. where you're just letting the aroma touch the point. And then I just have the patient relax, taking a couple of deep breaths in through your nose and out your mouth. Sorry, my breath smells like my lunch. I should put
smell deep food, so
Okay,
you're
good. Perfect. And take some nice deep breaths, Dr. Cynthia. And you can feel their physiology, or even your physiology, just relax, like your shoulders are calming down. You're being able to breathe a little deeper. And they're able to, so I see a lot of patients that they have a hard time just stopping to talk. So I can even just take their pulse or look at their tongue. That's what we do in Chinese medicine. And I can feel her body totally relaxing. So sometimes my patients, they have a hard time just stopping to talk. They're in such sympathetic mode. At this, have them stop talking in their tracks.
What are you trying to say, Doctor?
How do you feel?
Better.
Much better, right?
Yes.
I'm going to share with you another relaxing tool that you can do for you, your friends, your family, especially before nighttime. You can do bergamot before nighttime on that Chen Men spot, but you can also use Serenity. Oh, did you see it? Serenity. There it is. So again, you're going to just take one drop, put it on your finger. Make sure that it's just one, like a half a drop. You don't want to put this in your eye. You're going to go right here with it, okay? So I want to make sure I don't drop Serenity in somebody's eye. That would hurt. It's not what we want to do. Close your eyes for me, please. We're going to just go right drop on Yin Tong, right in the middle of the eyebrows. And take some nice deep breaths. And again, we want to have just the aroma touch the point. Very light, relaxing touch. Nothing too hard. It's all subtle. Nice deep breaths. You're going to fall asleep on me now. I can feel it. You still have to work later, okay?
I do. I just won't do it with as much gusto.
Yeah. You can take a little nap after this. Wow. I could totally feel her body completely relaxing now. Now, wouldn't this be a nice time to adjust the body? Like she's totally relaxed. She's not fighting me for an adjustment. Okay, you have to get up now. Okay. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause for Dr. Cynthia. Go take a nap. Go on the roller table. So after I work on somebody, I'm always cleaning my hands, just kind of taking off their energy. And, just more sanitary. If I can go to the sink and wash my hands with some On Guard soap, I will. But we have these guys in every room, just in case I get to the sink. We sell quite a bit of these deep blue sticks and these deep blue rubs. Again, that's kind of our most popular products, but we do a lot with stress, anything to help them relax. We also use a lot of oils to help people with energy, with something that just makes them happier. Especially around the holidays, a lot of people are dealing with three things: stress, anxiety, and depression. And so we see a lot of that in my practice. And so if I can help them make it a little bit lighter, a little bit easier, help their coping capacity grow so they can deal with the holidays with ease and only love and support from the universe, that would make me so happy. That would also help them hold their adjustments that I just gave them in the office, their acupuncture session that I just gave them in the office. So there's more that I do, but these are tools and tips that you can easily do and use for not only yourself, but also for your loved one. Hey, if you have that chatty relative during the holidays that come over, hey, Aunt Hilda, let me show you this really cool technique. Grab your bergamot and put her to sleep on the couch. And let me know how it goes. You're gonna have, like, if somebody's like stressing you out, hey, Uncle Tom, come on over here. Bring your oils with you for your holidays and let's like totally chill out your people. So they're relaxed, but also you're relaxed too. Hey, this acupuncturist taught me this really cool trick. I want to show you this. It's like acupuncture without using the needles. They'll like that. Okay, so what else, is there anything else that you wanted me to show before I dive into those questions, Mapuana?
I don't think so. I love the simplicity of it, right? Sometimes we think that it's a big, difficult thing, but it really isn't. And incorporating all three is pretty powerful, right? Even though I love how you're encouraging us to do it, even though we're not acupuncturists or chiropractic practitioners, you know, we have the power because we use the oils, and just simply putting them on and helping our nervous system to recalibrate is powerful. So,
oh, one other oil that I love to use, I forgot about this. Sorry to interrupt.
it's okay.
Is I love balance. I love using balance on the spine. That's one of my favorite go-to oils on the chiropractic end. It's so funny, like when we check the spine and I see the legs are a little off, that can tell me that that could be contributing to their lower back pain, their neck pain, and I love just rubbing balance in their back, in their lower backs. And that weirdly changes their leg lengths. It evens out the leg lengths. There's a lot of different reasons why. Sometimes it has to do with the psoas muscle, which is this muscle in the front of our bodies. That muscle is sensitive to feelings of fear and anxiety. And so when we have fear and anxiety, it manifests in our first chakra. We're going to talk about chakras today too. So in the first chakra, that's fear, anxiety. And so balance really helps to kind of calm those energies down, helps to balance out that muscle that's responsible for leg length differences. And then it just balances out the back. Love using it for any kind of like altered curve in the spine as well. Balance is just, it's all senses of the word. It balances so many different things, emotions, hormones, and hey, your spine too.
Yeah, I was surprised that you didn't mention balance, but coming back around to all the oils, right? That's my first oil that I put on before I go see my chiropractor. I put on balance on the bottom of my feet because I know that it's going to help. And then she uses other oils on me as well in conjunction with all of her other modalities, like, you know, the activator or heat pads or the stretch table, that kind of stuff. So I know you incorporate a lot of other things in your treatments, but just those small little tips are so helpful and so powerful because we could do them ourselves, right? So I love, love, love that. Now, where are you located again? I forgot to tell everybody.
I'm in Laguna Niguel, California. So if you know where Disneyland is, I'm about a half an hour south of Disneyland in this beautiful city called Laguna Niguel, you know, Laguna Beach, California. I'm really close to that beautiful beach area. It's just a
Awesome.
rough life.
And yet people out there need chiropractic and acupuncture just as badly as anybody else, right?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. Well, if you take a look at the chat, I don't think that there's any particular questions there that Kimberly didn't get around to, but I did have a few people send me a private message and ask if they could address questions related to their back. Rosa, would you like to go ahead and unmute yourself and ask the question? let's see, hold on. I just got on gallery view again. So, because I couldn't see everybody. How do you set up your computer, Sandra, when you're doing a class like this? Do you see everybody on gallery view?
Yes, I see everybody.
Ah,
Yes.
yeah.
But
very
I'm just looking at the chat. It looks like,
There are actually two questions that
Mhm.
popped up. So one, can Chiro help with sight? With your vision?
yes. Yes. Can
And-
oils help with the vision as well?
Ah,
So I notice that when I get adjusted, if your topmost vertebrae is out, actually we call it the occiput, your skull. If this is off, it could definitely influence that optic nerve and influence your sight. So I've noticed personally, when I get adjusted and this is corrected, your head's not on straight. I've heard that a couple of times. You're gonna leave my office after this is corrected. You're gonna see colors more clear, and your sight is gonna be crisper. Your visibility is gonna definitely improve. Have I returned somebody's sight? Not yet, but I have improved their sight. And we just had an amazing testimonial in doTERRA that they had better vision taking MetaPower, the MetaPower system, that they had a better eye exam when they went to their optometrist. So that was kind of cool to hear. So I hope that happens for me. I'm excited about that.
What other question, Kimberly?
and then we have another one. So someone asked, how young can you work with chiropractic? Is it possible to work with preemies?
Best day to get adjusted is the first day of your life. Second day to get second best day to get adjusted is today. So start somewhere. If you can start first day, even better. There is trauma associated with birth as an infant, no matter if you which way you pop out of your mama's belly, there is some trauma. And so what a chiropractor does is they correct any kind of physical trauma to the spine. And, in my opinion, emotional trauma, like why the oils? I love to use the oils for my patients. 20 years as chiropractor now, 21 years now. And I feel like people's spines, I feel like they hold their life story in their spine. Every physical trauma that they've been through. Guess what? Also mental and emotional trauma as well. All the good things too. But usually the trauma is what I read first. It's the bullet points and the spine. And so what do the oils do best is it works on the emotional and the mental component of disease. It's like talk therapy without the talk. Let the oils have that conversation with your spine for you. And it works. It helps to heal some of that trauma. If you see, like these three pieces, these artwork, these were custom made by a client for me that had really bad scoliosis. Her spine looked a lot like that meandering river up there. A lot of trauma. And so the oils helped with all the chiropractic care that we did. That was when we had the best relief, was when we actually put the oils into the treatment. Okay, tell me more
Awesome.
questions.
So let me see if I can. Okay, so something I'm just now figured out how to do this because someone sent me a message privately, but then I asked if I could share it. And so I copied and clipped and put it in the chat. Can you see that there?
Yes.
Nostalgia. I don't know how to say that word.
Yeah,
Parasympathetic.
I'm reading it.
Okay.
Notalgia paresthetica may cause by problem with the nerve cells that provide feeling to the skin. Is this your question, Rose?
Yes, it is. And I'm trying to send you a picture of my
Okay.
back, but I don't know how to send a picture.
Rose, have you been adjusted yet?
I was adjusted a few times by a chiropractor, but I never brought this to his attention because I didn't realize it was a possible back issue. I thought it was like dermatology and I needed to go see a dermatologist. But then I found this on the web and this matches what I have, I think.
So you did everything right, Rose, but in my opinion, every problem could potentially be a chiropractic support.
Okay.
Or acupuncture support. I would definitely bring it to your chiropractic's attention, because what do we work on? We work on the nervous system. A lot of times when you're out of alignment, you're actually having potential skin eruptions in that area. I noticed like back breakouts in the area that they really need to be adjusted.
Okay.
That might help.
Yeah, so just show them a picture of my back and or just show my back basically, right? And just have them.
Yeah, and just say, hey, I mean, if it's been a long time since you've been adjusted, you might just want to get an alignment too. It's always good for your health.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
And then Hanna, have you raised your hand?
Hi, I just wanted to share a story about my son when he was born about 2 years ago. I tried to have him naturally, but wasn't able to, so I had a C-section. And for the good 5-6 weeks, when I was nursing him, he had a very hard time burping. It would be between like after his feeding until his next feeding that he wouldn't get a burp out. So it was very like we were constantly trying to burp him. And my mother-in-law gave us tamer to help with it as well, to put on his belly and the bottoms of his feet. But my brother-in-law mentioned to take him to a chiropractor. So he was roughly 6 to 8 weeks old when we took him. And immediately after, I nursed him and I was putting him into position to burp, and he burped like really fast. It was amazing. So I know that, like Sandra was saying, in the birth canal, you go through so much trauma and it makes so much sense, but no one really talks to you or tells you about how to help these things that can be very simple. So I love that. And I love to get realigned again. And I love all the chiropractic work.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. One of my favorite kinds of days in practice is when I see babies and I adjust babies. They have like the best naps, number one, but they also have the best poops. It's so good. Like those are the things you want to optimize when you're that age. And but also I love to see my elderly patients as well. Like that's a happy day for me in practice, being able to see all walks of life, young to old. I mean, Mapuana, you'll love this story. I saw somebody on their last day of life too, and they call me the next day. Hey, thank you so much for taking care of my dad. He passed away like an hour after I adjusted. He was very sick, but at least I gave him the relief, that peace to be able to go to that next chapter of his,
Yeah, I love that.
story.
Thank you for sharing. Kimberly?
We had another good question in the chat. How often do you need to or should you get adjusted?
Great question. Everybody's a little different. For somebody that has had a lot of trauma, a lot of car accidents, I see those people once a week, and that works for them in their life. For others, that they're great, like they are amazing. They don't have pain. They just want to upkeep their overall health and wellness once a month. The sweet spot I found for people is like every 3 weeks. You know, when was the last time I was adjusted? A couple weeks ago. I'm due. It allows for me to do a better job on people.
Viana,
Great
you got
question.
your hand up.
Give me just 1 second. I just want to make sure my client is taken care of. Hang on.
Can y'all guys hear me?
Oh, are you working on her? Awesome. Hey, Di, do you mind? Oh my gosh, that's so great. I love it. Awesome. Okay, Cynthia is, Dr. Cynthia is taking care of my client, so I have an extra few minutes for you guys.
Okay, I was actually not going to ask a question. I was going to share. I was not taught again to not do any of this. I had an accident and I fell on my back of my head, and my son-in-law, who believes in chiropractor, got me to go, and I was scared because I've heard all kinds of crazy stories about it. And so I went, and afterwards, I didn't feel bad, but I didn't feel like, well, what's the big deal? And so I continued, trying to see, being open-minded, and I continued going. I actually transferred to another chiropractor, and I got better results in his technique, and he actually did include the oils. And I started to notice, well, now I've been going for over 2 years, and now I can tell when my body is offline. Before, I could not even understand the difference until I started to go. And now I like, oh, I can feel I'm not doing well. I can feel my body, my neck, my legs all. And I go, and he does an excellent job, and I feel more, I have more energy. I can sleep better. I even feel like I can think clear. It's just amazing. So I'm a believer. That's what I wanted to share.
I love it. Thank you for sharing.
You're so precious. Kimberly, last question.
Oh, I have 2.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
time. Now I have
Okay.
time. You're good.
So one, I was asked, what oils are good when you've had an epidural pain?
I would do copaiba and helichrysum.
Thank you. Okay, and then last one. So how do you find a good chiropractor? Like, is it just trial and error, or what's the best way to go about that?
You're going to like this analogy. So how do you find what oil is best for you? For me, what I would do is there's a chiropractor for everybody out there. There's a variety of different techniques out there. I do a couple of different techniques, very traditional chiropractic where you hear the pops and the cracks, but I also do more of a gentle style too. Not everyone is a good candidate for traditional chiropractic, but we want to be able to take care of everybody. So again, there's so many different styles of chiropractic out there. I would, number one, start asking people around you, hey, do you know of a good chiropractor? Gather those names. That's number one. Number two, check out the Yelp reviews. And then, just pop in and do your own interview, see if there's rapport. You gotta have rapport with your chiropractor. You see them more.
Yes, I love those suggestions. There does have to be some kind of chemistry, right? You have to figure out if this is going to be a good fit or not. And so those are really good suggestions. Absolutely love it. So if you're not seeing a chiropractor, find one in your area. Let us know if you need help doing that. I know somebody in the chat also said, do you know of someone in the San Antonio area? But we've got a lot of friends out there in the San Antonio area, so I'm sure you can find.
I might actually.
Okay.
Yeah, Mapuana, circle back with me. I might have somebody that I graduated with. Dr. Stephen Mack. I don't know if he's still practicing because again, it's been a minute since we've graduated. But follow up with me
Okay.
and I'll see if I know of anyone. Franklin Chiropractor. Barbara, where are you from? Is that Franklin, Tennessee? I know someone in Franklin, Tennessee. Is it Franklin, Tennessee? I know there's a lot of Franklins.
Barbara's from San
Texas,
Antonio.
yep.
Tony, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
San Antonio, but Dr. Franklin. Oh, so she's giving, I
Yeah.
thought she was the one that asked the question. Yeah, she's giving the name of a doctor. Very
Oh,
cool.
cool. Okay, great. Stephen Mack, he graduated with me. He has some doTERRA. I don't know if he uses it on his patients, but maybe you can help me convince him.
Yep, we will. We'll send them back to you.
Excellent.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So I know our time is up. I've enjoyed hearing your story. Thank you for demonstrating the use of oils in your practice, both with chiropractic care and acupuncture. I'm sure there's going to be much more talk about this in our community, you guys. So if you have any more questions, please reach out to the person who invited you or contact me directly. Okay. You'll be able to do that through text message or Instagram or even email if you have that information. And remember my YouTube channel, I'm going to start blasting that out to where we are going to post all our Friday classes. So you could just go there and rewatch as many as you would like. So thank you, Dr. Hanna, for your time. I know you have a patient there waiting for you. Let's all give her a round of applause and some hearts. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. And we're going to wrap this up with a raffle. I am sharing a bottle of, let me see if I can show that in my, what do you call it, virtual background, a roller bottle of peace. And this oil is called our Reassuring Blend. It is beautiful. And so Kimberly, who won the raffle on the spinner?
Today it was Aubrey Evans.
Aubrey, congratulations, girl. I'll send this to you. I have your address, okay? Awesome. All right, everybody, we're back here at 5:30 for another class. Dr. Hanna, we're showing the recording of our class at the 5:30, right? 'Cause
Yes, I'd love to be on, but I have patients still.
Totally
Thank
understand.
you, ladies.
All right.
Bye,
thanks,
everyone.
everybody.
Happy holidays.
Bye-bye.